Second straight win, and this one was more decisive. The third quarter has been a problem all year. It was really good tonight. What happened in that quarter especially?
Just did a better job of defending them. I thought we did a pretty good job the first half, but, they had 11 second chance points, and, I think it was 6 or 8 offensive rebounds. That really was keeping them in the game. So tightened up on the on the defensive end as far as not allowing them to get to the offensive rebounds until the end. They got a couple of bounces that kind of went their way. But other than that, I thought the third quarter we were very solid.
Kobe didn't have his typical attack game, but maybe he was just adjusting to what they were doing, ends up with 13 assists. What did you make of that, and how impactful was it?
Yeah, they were trapping him. Every time you seemed to get it in that low post or mid-post area. And if he turned and faced, or if he just kind of was waiting to see what they were going to do, they were coming kind of aggressively, and we just had pretty good spacing and made some good decisions as far as making shots and swinging it to the open guys. So he was more of a facilitator tonight, But in the third quarter, he got going a little bit on the offensive end. That's why we were able to get that lead that we had.
What about the defense that did you like the most, that limited what Detroit wanted to do, held them obviously to a really bad shooting percentage?
Well, just the fact that we started to do everything that we talked about. Last couple of games, I think our focus has been a whole lot better. And, we're going to need that for the rest of the season. We got to continue to grow on that end of the floor. But tonight was much better on that end of the floor, especially against their point guards, which are two very explosive guys. We gave Josh a lot of looks. That was the game plan. But, when he missed it, the biggest thing was to make sure we rebounded.
Kobe really did look fatigued in that first half, kind of like what you were alluding to at shoot-around. Should it not be a surprise, though, to see him get 12 points in that third and kind of spur that turnaround? Nothing's really surprising with
No, not really. I think he kind of sees the moment and that opportunity where we were kind of rolling as a team, which gets him more into it, and he started making shots and being a little bit more aggressive offensively for his shots. And they didn't come that time, for about 4 minute span where they didn't come as quick as they were coming, so he was able to kind of operate.
Were you wanting to keep him out for the rest of the game? You guys had that 21-point lead. Were you planning on bringing him back in the fourth quarter?
No, I told him when I took him out, I said, hopefully you don't have to play the rest of the night. But their second unit came in and played with a bunch of energy and got them right back into the game. And, unfortunately for us, we had to put our starters back in.
Is there any thought, just knowing you have a back-to-back tomorrow and he's already fatigued, is there any thought to just trying to go without him in that situation?
Serious? No. No, at that particular time, it was at the 6 minute mark, I think, when I brought him back in. So he had been sitting there for about 8 minutes. I knew he was well rested. Like I said, unfortunately, our second unit didn't do a good job of closing the game out. Their second unit did a great job of bringing them back. So I really, didn't feel I had any choice but to bring our starters back in the game. And obviously, he's one of our starters.
How about what Jordan Hill did? He scored his point straight for you after they came back in.
He played great tonight. He really did. He played great tonight. I thought the first half he was okay. Drummond had 6 offensive rebounds, which hurt us. We addressed that at halftime. In the second half, he did a much better job of getting him out of the glass, getting him off the glass, and rebounding himself. But 22 and 13, it's a pretty good night.
What is the plan for Kobe tomorrow, just considering the back-to-back and just what he's been going through today?
Well, we're not going to the gym or anything, so he'll get a bunch of rest, and we'll just see how he feels game time. Hopefully I can give him a little bit more rest as far as, not playing 34, 35, 36 minutes. But we'll just have to kind of see how the game goes and see how he feels as well.
Byron, fourth straight game with at least 8 3-pointers made, and I think second straight with at least 10. You get Ellington and Young back. Is that part of what you were talking about? Just once you got your shooters to return the floor, it would be spaced better?
Yeah, and those guys have been making shots. So obviously it makes everybody else's job a lot easier. But that's what they're paid to do. Those two guys can make threes. Jeremy's another guy that we expect to knock those down on a consistent basis, and I think Wesley's starting to find his rhythm too. So when you got those guys on the floor, obviously when the floor is spread like it is, we get opportunities to knock those down.
Thanks, Coach.
Nice to hear Byron after a second win in a row, right? No stories about the zoo?
Yeah. No monkey jokes, right?